Guys, before you go on to this clip, please don't forget to press the subscribe button for more content like this. We post all our clips on this channel from the podcast. I know you're going to enjoy this quite a lot.
I think that the availability of choice, and I have kept myself relevant in this business where it is so easy to be irrelevant for a woman journalist. Women journalists don't last that long in television.
Why?
It's over after a while. Have you seen...
Is it a pretty face phenomena? You age and then therefore, right?
To some extent, yes. If you see television anchors, साड़ी वाली anchors कितनी दिखती हैं आपको? Only those thin jacket wearing anchors till recently.
Sure.
Right? Otherwise, very few, no?
Right.
And how many do you see beyond 40? It's only now a few people you'll see. Otherwise, it was over. So... there was, I think NDTV had a Mrinal Pandey in doing Hindi, and it was over after that. Then you got younger blood. And they used to do, and in television, it's a very cruel medium because it's also visual.
Yes.
So you need to look in a particular manner, speak in a particular manner.
Right.
And even when you go out to interview, you'll find, because I've had it said last year, to me to say कि अब आप younger lot को podcast करने दीजिए ना, आप क्यों कर रही हैं?
Very interesting.
It's my podcast. I will do as long as I want it.
Yeah, whoever was saying it, come on, bro. हम लोग देख रहे हैं यार. We're watching it. No, it's very interesting. It reminded me of this interesting... I think it was a study. This happened when JFK and Nixon were fighting. And this was right around the time where radio and television were coexisting. And so they had a debate, Nixon and JFK. And whoever heard that debate on radio thought Nixon won. And whoever saw the debate on television thought JFK won. Because JFK was a taller, broader, better looking guy. Nixon was not as pretty apparently. And Nixon had a broader, deeper voice. And so the medium dictated who people thought won. And it's such an interesting fact. You mentioned that females don't last long in this profession, at least as anchors. You see this with the actresses much more commonly, that their life is like until 30 and then their younger sister has to romance the same guy who's their uncle's age. And this keeps repeating until we forget. Is there sexism as part of why females get discouraged from doing this? Do you think?
To some extent, yeah. Of course. It's in life also, no?
Yeah.
It's there everywhere. I mean, there's an ad, right, in which this guy says that I want to invest. I don't know what it is. Some investment wala ad hai where he says, thank you for the coffee.
No problem.
So, in which he says that, where should I invest? And the mother says that, is pe invest karo. And he doesn't hear her. When he doesn't hear. And then suddenly the voiceover changes and the same thing is said in a male voice. And then he looks at his dad. Did you say it? So then the mother looks at him with this sarky look. मैंने बोला था, but आवाज जब male आवाज आती है on investment matters, you listen. And this I have said that whenever I go to universities, when they invite me and I find youngsters listening, which is a big, big thing, because after a couple of minutes, everybody's scrolling, either because I'm so boring or Instagram
is the optionality.
very interesting.
It's the optionality. The downside of the optionality you were mentioning earlier is that I have to tune into nothing, including a funeral. I can just tune out and scroll. And so nothing is sacred anymore.
And you have to grip attention every 30 seconds.
30 seconds a lot.
No, speaking to a live audience.
No, I know what you're saying.
Probably, yeah.
Because when I was a CA student, one of the most interesting things I saw, CA teachers teach their students in lots of thousands, right? They'll book out a banquet hall for 6 months, जहाँ शादियाँ होती है शाम को, सुबह पढ़ाई कराते हैं. And now you're teaching 1,000 kids who have woken up at 5 a.m. to come at a 6 a.m. class. They have to go to office right after this class. They have a long day ahead of them and a class maybe afterwards also. It's a very grueling sort of situation. Most people are barely showered. It's so early in the morning in the winter. And now this guy, he's on a stage teaching you the most boring subject ever. But he has to hold your attention. And they invent these techniques to hold your attention. So some people have jokes that they've mastered and they will repeat it every like 45 minutes or like 30 minutes. Some people have a certain gig or a gimmick they'll do, right? And they all came up with these methods. This is back when the iPhone was not such a proliferated technology. Now I don't think you last 30 seconds before shouting. So there was somebody on my podcast, when I started the conversation, he's like, you don't go, hi guys, hum wapas aa gaye hain. And I was like, no. He's like, then how do you hold your audience? And it's such an interesting fact that I have to scream at them to pay attention. The optionality has a downside.
Yeah.
Yes, please. But you were continuing.
the same thing that when I go to campuses and I'm talking to them, I keep telling them that, listen, when you sit in front of a television set and something is happening politically, don't just tell your mom to pick up the dishes and take it to the sink. You know, ask her opinion also. She matters. And if you think she doesn't matter, the political guys have realized that. They are the ones who are coming out with all the programs for women voters. You think your mother doesn't know? Your mother is the one who has decided who your chief minister is going to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that's so well put, because I think all of these guys are targeting female voters because they're much more on the edge. They're not married to an ideology or political party.
Yeah.
Right?
So the men are venting and screaming and yelling. The woman quietly has decided whom she's going to vote. Pehle hota tha that this didn't matter. They matter. So I keep telling young journalists also, when I speak to young journalists at home, at campuses, and I tell them that don't think that your dad is the barometer. Your mom has a vote.
Yeah.
Your mom is quiet. You are not listening to her. It is she who has decided in the past couple of elections which way things are going.
Right.
You know, and I've said this before I don't remember in whose show or in a talk, that I was covering UP elections. I won't say which one because I don't want people to figure out what it is. But I actually wrote an article to say that this person is going to lose. Right? And because this person hasn't campaigned enough or nobody knows about this person in that area. I was mistaken because I didn't realize that even the men are voting because of the shauchalayas which have been made. Okay? And itne nahi bane the udhar. So many bathrooms hadn't been made, but a few had been made in that area. And I didn't realize the impact of those bathrooms because young men were upset because they had seen their dadis die because of the chula. Cancer.
Yes, right.
Right? Their mothers got cancer and the father had to sell land. Now, it's not as if एक family में ये हुआ. एक family में कहीं दादी मरी, दूसरी family में कहीं mother got cancer. The father had to sell a small plot of land to pay for the mother, for the treatment. Why? Because you let the old person die after 70, 80. You say कि ठीक है, बीमारी है, बिस्तर पे लेट गए, died. But when it came to your mother, you didn't want that. You told your dad, sell that plot of land, small plot of land, या गाय बेच दो, या जो भी है, whatever asset you had, बेच दो क्योंकि माँ की treatment करनी है. So you got that treatment done, but you knew what impact that had.
Right, of course.
So the not only did the woman vote for that shauchalaya, and then the worst thing was, which I had no clue, was that when women used to go to the forest to ease themselves, it was only at 4 a.m.
Because it's dark.
And the men, especially lower caste women, so the upper caste people would not come and pick you up, and if you had to go past that village, it was their haq to do what they wanted to.
Right.
So there were cases of all these things that happened because there was no bathroom.
Yes.
For those women of that village, and I'm just talking one village where I went, where they told me, and it opened my eyes because I went back to see मैंने कहाँ गलती की. Very few journalists do that.
Right.
Or have the ability or the finances to go back and check as to why did I go wrong.
Right.
I did. To go back and say, why didn't I see these signs? And I saw the signs and I said, I was so blinded. It was so wrong of me. कि मैंने ये notice नहीं किया.
Guys, अगर ये सुन के आपको भी लगा वाओ, मैं भी ऐसे सोचना चाहता हूँ, मैं सीखना चाहता हूँ ऐसे कैसे सोचते हैं, तो क्या करना है? सब्सक्राइब का बटन, सब्सक्राइब.